Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Welcome to your essay class. This is your 9th lecture. And yes, last class we have talked about the what do we call it? The comparison and contrast essay. And today we're going to discuss different topic and very important one, writing. And I want you to focus now on these lectures because they tackle the some of the grammatical stuff that you need to use while writing an essay. Today we're going to talk about two topics. They are very important and basics. So I want you to pay attention because these grammars, they will help you to how to write a sentence, a strong sentence. As you know, we have weak sentence and we have strong sentence. I want you to write strong sentences. First of all, we'll start to talking about types of clause, independent and dependent. We will explain what each of one means, and we'll give you provide you with some examples, and then we will start talking about types of sentences. We have different types of sentences. We will explain every single one. Let us start first with the clauses. السؤال الأول, what are clauses? Clauses are the building blocks of a sentence. أساسيات أي جملة بنسميها clause. A clause is a group of words that contains at least subject and verb. هذا هو الكلوز. أي كلوز لازم يكون فيه على الأقل subject and verb. هذا بنسميه clause. إذا شو هو الكلوز؟ هو a group of words should have at least subject and verb. لاحظوا الآن, ecology is a science. Where is the verb? أهم شيء دائما, you should look at the verbs first. The verb is. Where is the subject? Ecology. But then you should ask yourself a second question. Does the verb agree with the subject? يعني هل يتفق مع الفاعل؟ الفاعل شكله نعم, هذا مفرد وهذا مفرد. So, ecology is a science to protect the environment. الآن هذا بنسميه clause, مع أنه هي جملة كاملة. هذا يسمى clause. لكن هذا, this part of the sentence is not a clause. Why? Why? Well, because here we have a subject and verb, but in this sentence we don't have a subject. We have only infinitive verb. Okay? So, ecology is science to protect the environment because pollution causes cancer after working all day. لاحظوا, because pollution causes cancer. Do we have a verb? Yes, causes, يسبب. The subject is pollution. فهذا بنسميه clause. بينما after working all day ما في لا فعل ولا فعل. So, as you can see here, we have two kinds of clauses. واحد, one clause نسميه independent clause, والثاني هذا بنسميه independent clause. هذا dependent clause. هذا مستقل وهذا غير مستقل. شو المقصود فيها؟ The independent clause does have a meaning. The independent clause has a meaning whether it stands with other clauses or not. That is to say, إذا حكينا الجملة هذه جملة كاملة لكن لو حكينا ecology is a science, هل Is it a meaningful? Is it grammatical? Yes. It has a meaning and it's a grammatical without other parts. لكن طيب لو حكينا pollution causes cancer. Pollution causes cancer. Is it a grammatical? Yes. Is it a meaningful? Yeah. Pollution subject, causes verb, وهذا object. Subject, verb, object. والمعنى واضح. هذا بنسميه independent clause. لكن لو طلعنا على الجزء الآخر لو حكينا to protect the environment. Is it meaningful? No. Does it have a subject or a verb? No. After working all the day, the same. It doesn't have a meaning. Okay, after working all the day, what next? What happened? To protect the environment. Okay, what happened? So the dependent clause, the dependent clause can't stand alone by itself. It needs the help of the independent clause. So the dependent clause is meaningless without the independent. The dependent clause is ungrammatical without the independent clause. So is that clear? I hope so. As you can see here, this is another definition. This is an interesting definition to independent clauses. Independent clause contains subject and a verb express a complete thought. It has a complete thought. It can stand alone as a sentence by itself. An independent clause is formed with a subject and a verb and often a complement. لاحظوا هذه. The sun rose. طلعت الشمس. It has only subject and verb. لكن water evaporates rapidly in warm climate zones. وين الفعل evaporates يتبخر هذا الفاعل هذه تكملة سواء كانت جملة حرف جر أو ظرفية أو غيرها. لكن هذا independent clauses. لكن independent clauses begins with a subordinator such as when, while, if, that, or who. A dependent clause does not express a complete thought. So it is not a sentence, by the way, and it's not a sentence by itself. A dependent clause is also called a sentence fragment. By itself, it is incomplete sentence, and it is an error, خطأ. A dependent clause is formed with a subordinator, subject, and a verb. بس لازم يكون فيه subordinator اللي هو واحدة من هذول. هذا بنسميهم subordinators. Subordinators are used to connect the dependent clause with the independent clause وليس العكس. فلاحظوا هذه الجمل المعطية هون في عندنا when, because, whom, if. هذه all of these are, including also those are subordinators. Then we have subjects, verb, and complement. When the sun rose, because water evaporates rapidly in warm climate zones, the voters elected that road continues for another year. A few of the most common subordinators are right here. These are all subordinators. You can classify them. ممكن انك تصنفهم. هذه WH question right here. وهنا some of them are similar, like as, just as. So all of these are subordinators, and I guess you are familiar with them, right? Subordinators. You have read them in different, you have met them actually in different courses. So it's better to understand the use of these subordinators and the difference between independent clause and dependent clause. Let us now start, after we have discussed the clauses. Now we are talking about a sentence structure, because a sentence may have more than two clauses. A sentence مثل هذه الجملة: ecology is a science to protect the environment because pollution causes cancer after working all day. هذه sentence consists of two clauses. One clause right here and the second clause right here. فهمتوا الآن الآلية؟ في عندنا clause and then we have a sentence. And a sentence may have more than two clauses. First of all, why should we study these two topics? Why should we study the sentence structure? To make your writing more interesting, you should try to vary your sentences in terms of length and structure. You should vary them. You can make some of your sentences long and others short. Okay? Now let us read the two paragraphs on the next slide and page right here. Let us read it together. Okay? And try to read after me. I love living in the city. I have a wonderful view of the entire city. I have an apartment. I can see the Golden Gate Bridge. I can see many cargo ships passes under the bridge each day. I like the restaurants in San Francisco. I can find wonderful food from just about every country. I don't like the traffic in the city. لاحظوا هذه الجملة. It has simple sentences, right? Subject, verb, complement. لكن خلينا نقرأ وهي كلها كل الجمل كانت simple 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 simple. كل هذه كانت simple sentences. Why? Because it has only one structure: subject, verb, complement. وجمل قصيرة. لكن الكتابة القوية اللي بتكون مزيج ما بين long sentences and short sentences. That's why it's important for you to understand the structure of sentences. Please pay your full attention to these classes nowadays, because they are very important, they are very helpful. These are the grammars of writing. Okay? Let us read the second paragraph. I love living in the city of San Francisco. I have a wonderful view of the city from my apartment window. In addition, I can see the Golden Gate Bridge, under which many cargo ships pass each day. I also like San Francisco because I can find wonderful restaurants with food from just about every country. However, I don't like the traffic in the city. لاحظوا نفس الأفكار الموجودة في الباراجراف الأولى, the same thoughts and ideas. لكن the second paragraph was stronger. The second paragraph is stronger than the first paragraph. Why? Because it uses longer and short, it uses varied types of sentences. Okay? How do you vary sentence structure? How can we do this? You will want to use a variety of sentence structures in writing. You need this. There are three types of sentences we're going to study in this lesson. First one is simple sentence, and the other one is compound sentence and complex sentence. Simple sentence consists only of one clause. Compound sentences of two clauses, and complex sentences more than two clauses. Okay? Let us now discuss each one aside. First of all, a simple sentence like this: I live in Francisco. A simple sentence has one independent clause. والآن أنتم بتعرفوا شو يعني independent clause. Independent clause يعني one subject, one verb. I live in Francisco. هنا one verb وهنا one subject في الجملة. This is what we call simple sentence. For example, I study English. أيضا هذه simple sentence. Okay, I live in one place. This is also a simple sentence. Compound sentence. A compound sentence contains two independent clauses that are joined together. مثلا, she works in the city, but she lives in suburbs. She works in the city, but she lives in suburb. لاحظوا, how many independent clauses? How many clauses we have? Two independent clauses. Subject, verb, subject, verb. الآن هذول الجملتين ممكن نحكي she works in the city نقطة, she lives in the suburbs, لكن they are not joined together. How can we join these two sentences together? We should use a coordinator مثل but. Okay, so but we will explain these actually coordinators as I promised you last time later on, okay, in this class or maybe the class to come. Compound sentences, you can make a compound sentence by joining two logically related independent clauses by using a semicolon, هذا semicolon, أو coordinator conjunction مثل but and or وفي غيرهم لكن هذول الأساسيات, أو transition word. فكيف بيكون الستركتشر للcompound sentence؟ independent clause, semicolon أو coordinator أو transition, then independent clause. Okay, as you can see here, خلينا الآن أول استخدام using a semicolon, independent clause, semicolon, independent clause. I love living in the city, semicolon, there are so many things to do. برضو هذه independent clause لأنه there are subject, verb, subject, verb. So this is one way how to connect compound sentences together. Okay? Using coordinating conjunction to connect two independent clauses together. The structure is independent clause, one of the coordinating conjunction, and another independent clause. He couldn't watch the show, so هنا فاصل طبعا. So he decided to tape it. هل الفاصلة مهمة هنا؟ نعم. He couldn't watch the show, so he decided to tape it. لاحظوا, independent clause, independent clause. أريد, and I want you to pay attention to this very interesting information, very interesting rule. الآن شو بس وظيفة الconjunction؟ هي مش بس بتربط independent clause مع independent clause. It doesn't only connect independent clause with another, but also, okay, it helps us to balance this sentence. This sentence consists of two clauses. لاحظوا, couldn't هي ماضي من كان, وdecided أيضا هي past. So the conjunctions, the coordinating conjunctions, balance also the structure of the clauses and the tenses. So if a sentence is in the past, the other should be in the past. يعني ما بقدر أحكي he can watch the show, so he decided to tape it. هذا خطأ لأنه كان present. ما بقدر أعمل, we can't switch from present to past quickly. We can't switch from present to past or from past to present. This one should be in the past and the other should be in the past. Here we have some coordinated conjunctions. if you want to say like in addition, to add something, you say and. To contrast something, to say but or yet. Choice, or nor. Cause, for. For example, I came here for teaching English. Okay, result, so. For example, I was sick, so I didn't come to class. Okay, I was sick, so I did not come to class. لاحظوا هنا في الماضي was, هنا في الماضي did. So تستخدم للresult, النتيجة. For, I came here for teaching English. Choice, would you like, or would you like playing soccer, اللي هي كرة قدم, or PlayStation. هذا بنسميه خيار الأور، وازن ما بين هذه وهذه. Okay, I will go to Jordan, but I will not go to Aqaba city or to Amman. I will go to Erbil. This is another Jordanian city. Here we have some coordinators. As you can see here, 4. Japanese people live longer than most other nationalities, for they eat healthy diets. For هنا معناها because, for the reason, for the purpose. Okay, and we use it to add something, to add similar or equal idea. مثلا, they eat a lot of fish and vegetables. لاحظوا, هذه تساوي هذه, fish and vegetables, and they eat lightly. Nor is used to add negative equal idea. They don't eat a lot of red meat, nor do they eat many dairy products. So nor معناها not and not. But is used to add an opposite idea. Diet is one factor in how long people live, but it is not the only factor. So but here it shows an opposite idea. Or is used to add alternative possibility. However, people should limit the amount of animal fat in their diets, or they risk getting heart disease. Or, so here it gives you an alternative possibility. Yet is used to add an unexpected or surprising continuation. Cigarette smoking is a factor in longevity, yet Japanese and other long-lived Asians have a very high rate of tobacco use. And so here to give us a result, doctor says that stress is another longevity factor, so try to avoid stress if you wish to live a longer life. So if you want to remember the most 7 coordinators, just try to say fanboys. For, it's F, start with F, and start with A, nor start with N, B start with B, but, start with B, or start with O, yes start with Y, and so start with S. So if you take the first letter of each coordinator, you will say this word, fanboys. Just look at the first letter of each coordinator, try to connect them, you will have fanboys. So if someone asks you about the 7 coordinators, you just say fanboys. F stands for, A stands for and, N stands for nor, B stands for but, and so. Here we have kind of a quotient. And the quotient says do not use a comma every time you use the words and, or, but, nor, for, so, yet. Use a comma only with a coordinating conjunction joins two independent clause. يعني مثلا هذه الجملة the necklace was beautiful but expensive. لاحظوا ما هذه but لكن ما وضعنا comma. Why? Because this simple sentence has only one independent sentence clause. لكن if we have two independent clause, we can use these words, these coordinators, and we should use the comma. Okay, and we should use the comma. So this is a simple sentence that we have only one independent clause, so we don't use a comma with an independent clause. Using a transition. Independent clause, you should actually use the transition after an independent clause, then you put apostrophe and transition and then comma, and then you mention the independent clause. For example, I love San Francisco. لاحظوا وضعنا اللي هي semicolon، بعدين وضعنا the transition words اللي هي من ال conjunctions، ووضعنا هنا الapostrophe. Then I hate the traffic. So we have two independent clauses, one here and one right here. I love San Francisco. So in your mind, you should put these transition words between a semicolon and then a comma. Here we have actually a kind of exercise to define which one is independent and which one is dependent. The first one is actually done. Globalization means more travel for businessmen and women. This is actually independent because we have verb and a subject. Number two, as business executives fly around the globe to sell their companies of products and services. This one is independent because it starts with subordinates. So this is dependent sentence. So, which means it is incomplete sentence. Number three, jet lag affects most long distance travel. Jet lag affects. Subject verb. This is independent. Which is simply, number four, which is simply the urge to sleep at inappropriate times. This is independent, sorry, this is dependent because it starts with subordinator. هذه الجملة incomplete. Number five, during long journeys through several time zones, the body's inner clock is disrupted. هذه dependent. For some reasons, travel from west to east causes great jet lag than travel from east to west. So here we have also independent clause. So as you can see, independent, number 3, 5, and 6, and dependent is number 4. Here you can do this actually by yourself. This is actually a homework. And I want you to differentiate, to pay attention to the independent and to the dependent clauses. Try to see which one is complete and which one is incomplete thought. For this homework, and I want you to go to do the following homeworks. You should do practice number 4, and we have here pages 167 and here 168, and we have practice number 5. It's page 170. Before we end, actually, let us just move back and let me remind you of this homework. Try to remember which one is independent and which one is dependent, and explain to yourself why. Okay? For example, also changes in work schedules can cause jet lag. This one. Also, changes in work schedules can cause jet lag. This one is complete sentence. So it is actually, we have subject and here we have verb, so it is a independent one. لكن لاحظوا طبعا هي الفاصلة هي اللي حكمت على هذا الموضوع. لكن الجملة 8 when hospitals nurses change from a day shift to a night shift, for example. So this is incomplete sentence. It's meaningless. It is error. It is incorrect. So you need to fix it. Number 9, although there is no sure way to prevent jet lag. What does it mean? Is it complete or incomplete? Is it correct or error? Is it dependent or independent? So please do all of these exercises by yourself. Hopefully you have enjoyed the class. It's very important to memorize and to understand the use of these coordinators. Thank you so much. Wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.